Welcome back to All This Math. This is Professor Parker. Make sure you're subscribed to the All This Math YouTube channel. Please drop a comment down below. Don't forget to like the video and please share this video with somebody. All right, at least one other person. All right, but maybe share with a few people because today we're about to get into some long division. All right, this is the old school math. All right, what people call the old math. All right, even though the new math is not really new, right? It's just these are methods that are thousands of years old, but we may not have been taught them when we were in school as adults 30 years ago, 40 years ago, 20, 25 years ago, right? So, but today we're doing long division because long division is a tried and true fan favorite. All right. So we got two problems up here. So you get a 2-for-1. Most of the time with these videos that I make, I only do one problem. But in this particular video, I'm going to do two problems. All right. I got number one, 645 divided by 9. And I got 726 divided by 4. All right. So in a division problem, make sure you know this and write this down in your notes. The first number, we call that the dividend. So 645 is our dividend. The second number, the thing we are dividing by, or the number we're dividing by, is called the divisor. The divisor. First number is dividend. Second number is called the divisor. Now, the answer that you get, we call that a quotient. We call it a quotient. Quotient. All right. Quotient. All right. Now, also, if this was written like a fraction, because a fraction is just another way to express division, this first number will be your numerator. The second number will be your denominator. Numerator, denominator. Dividend, divisor. Numerator, denominator. I almost got confused real quick. All right, so now let's set it up. You're going to use a symbol that's called a vinculum. The long division symbol is called a vinculum. That's just some like trivia. You might need that if you're watching Jeopardy one day or something. All right, so we're going to do this. You got that? The divisor goes outside. Some people call this a house, right? The dividend goes inside the house. 645 goes inside the house. The divisor goes outside the house. All right. Now, with long division, it's essentially a pattern, like all the math. All the math is all about patterns. It's 3 steps. DMS, divide, multiply, subtract. Divide, multiply, subtract. Divide, multiply, subtract. And then you drop the next digit down, repeat the process. Divide, multiply, subtract. All right. So what are we doing? You start with the first digit that you see, the largest digit that you see, in the hundreds place, in this case, of the dividend. And you say, what is 6 divided by 9? Now, 6 divided by 9 is not going to be a whole number, right? Because 6 is less than 9. So we don't want to do 6 divided by 9, right? Because that would give us a fraction or a decimal, and we don't want that. All right. So because of that, because 6 is less than 9, and you can't fit a whole group of 9s into 6. It's like if somebody has a size 9 foot and they try to fit their foot into a size 6 shoe. The shoe is too small or their foot is too big, depending on how you look at it. All right. So you don't want to do that. So if that happens, then you say, okay, well, instead of dealing with 6, let's treat this like a 2-digit number. Let's do 64. 64. Now, let's see how many 9s can fit into 64. Now, this is where you need to know your multiplication facts by heart. If you don't know your multiplication facts by heart, this may be more challenging than it should be. It's not impossible, but it'll be more challenging than it should be because we need to know that, well, 9 times 5 is 45, 9 times 6 is 54, 9 times 7 is 63. Because we know that 9 times 7 is 63, then we know that at a maximum, the most 9s that can fit into 64 is 7 because 9 times 7 is 63. So dividing 64 by 9, 64 divided by 9 is 7 with a remainder, right? We don't do 8 because 9 times 8 is 72. That's more than 64. We don't want to pass this number. All right. So what do we do with that 7? We write it above the number in the ones place of 64, which is 4. So we put it up here. So we did our division. We did our division because technically we divided 64 by 9. Even though there's a remainder, we know that 9 can fit into 64 7 times, or 7 9s can fit into 64. Since 9 times 7 is 63. Again, make sure you have your multiplication facts memorized by heart. That makes this a lot easier and a lot more fun. It's more fun when you know your multiplication facts. Then you do 9 times 7. 9 times 7 is 63. So you write the 63 down underneath of the 64. Then you draw your line. Then you put a minus sign. So we did our division. We did our multiplication. Now we're about to subtract. 64 minus 63 is 1. All right. Now we got a 1 right here. Now 9. We're not going to do 1 divided by 9 because 1 is less than 9. So what we do in that situation is, you see this 5 right here? See this 5 right here? from the original dividend, you're going to bring it downstairs. You're going to bring it down, right? Bring it down. So this one turns into a 15. Now you're going to start the process over. We're going to do 15 divided by 9. Or how many nines can fit into 15? How many nines? 1. Because 2 nines will be 18. Again, this is why you must know your multiplication factor. So this can be not only easier, but more fun. Because you can just run through the problems. It's like playing a game. So one group of 9 can fit into 15. So you put a 1 right here. Then you're going to multiply 1 times 9. Just like we did 7 times 9 before. Now we're going to do 1 times 9. And we get 9. Draw your line. Do your minus sign. Because now we're about to subtract. 15 take away 9 is 6. All right. And that's what we're left with. Now, here's the thing. There are different ways to write the answer. Notice there are no more digits in the dividend. We ran out of digits. So we could say that the remainder is, so we could say the answer is 71, or the quotient is 71, remainder 6, because there's 6 left over, right? So that means there's a remainder, right? So that means, what does a remainder mean? That means that 9 can fit into 645 71 times. 71 nines can fit into 645 with a difference of 6. So 71 times 9 is 639, right? 71 times 9 is 639. What's the difference between 645 and 639? 6. That's what your remainder is. That's how much is left over between the product of 9 and 71 and the dividend. That's what the remainder is. So one way to write it is you could say 71 remainder 6. That's one way to write it. Or you could do it like this. You could take the remainder, create a fraction with the remainder and the divisor, the remainder and the divisor, the remainder and the divisor, right? So you can say 71 is your whole number, right? And then you have a fraction, 6/9, right? Now, but you got to know something about fractions, because if we know some things about fractions, we know that we can reduce fractions, right? Or simplify the fraction, because 6 and 9 have a common factor of 3. So each of these can get divided by 3. Divide that by 3, divide that by 3. So that gives me 71 2/3. That's another way to write the answer. So we could say 71 remainder 6, or we could say 71 2/3. Now yet another way to write the answer would be if we attach the 0 right here and then drop the 0 down, made that a 60, and then put a decimal point right here, right? Because we could express the answer with not a whole number part and a decimal part after the decimal point. We could express it like that, right? But I just want to introduce you to that. But fundamentally, at a minimum, we should understand that the quotient is 71 remainder 6, or 71 with 6 left over. Because, why is it 71 remainder 6? Because 71 times 9 is going to be 639. And then ask yourself, what's the difference or between 639 and 645? The difference is 6. Like if you had $639 and you needed $645 to make some purchases, because you were trying to throw a party, you needed to buy a bunch of stuff for a party, you would still need $6 more. That's why the remainder is 6. There's a remaining $6 that you still need, right? So remainder 6. Or another way to write it, you take the remainder, create a fraction. Make this your numerator, make the divisor your denominator. I was about to say the wrong thing. Denominator, meaning 6/9, but then sometimes you got to reduce fractions. So 6/9 turns into 2/3. I got other videos that specifically talk about how to reduce and simplify fractions. All right, if that's not clear. All right, so 71 2/3 or 71 remainder 6. Don't worry about how to express this as a decimal quite yet. Don't worry about that right now. All right, now let's go to this example. 726 divided by 4. How many 4s can fit into 726? That's another way to think about division. What is division? How many of the divisor can fit into the dividend? I meant to say that with the first problem. I forgot. How many 9s can fit into 645? That's what division is. Division really means how many of the second number can fit into the first number. How many of them? In this case, 71 9s can fit into 645. Right? So whenever you see division, just think how many of the second number can fit into the first number? How many of the divisor can fit into the dividend? How many of the denominator can fit into the numerator? So let's write this one. Let's set this one up. So the divisor goes outside. Draw your vinculum. The vinculum is actually the horizontal bar. But the dividend is 726. And then we're going to say, okay, 7 divided by 4. How many 4s can fit into 7? 1. So you write your 1 right here. Then we're going to multiply. Remember, divide, multiply, subtract. Divide, multiply, subtract. Divide, multiply, subtract. DMS. So we did our division. Now we're going to do the multiplication. 4 times 1 is 4. Boom. Then we're going to subtract. 7 minus 4 is 3. If I'm moving too fast, it's cool. Just hit rewind, run it back. All right. Or if you have questions, put them in the comments down below. All right. Do both. Rewind and still put your questions in the comments down below. All right. So now we got 3. 4 is larger than 3. So we're going to bring this 2 down. So now we got 32 divided by 4. Again, know your multiplication facts, know your division facts. 32 divided by 4 is 8. Take that 8, throw that up there. Then we're going to multiply. 8 times 4 is 32. Draw the line, minus sign, 32 minus 32 is 0. Now we bring the 6 down. That's 6 from the dividend. 6 divided by 4. How many 4s can fit into 6? 1. 1. So we got 4 times. Then we did our division. Now we about to multiply. 4 times 1 is 4. Put the 4 right here. Now we're going to subtract. 6 minus 4 is 2. There's no more digits in the dividend. Nothing to bring down. Now we could attach zeros and then put a decimal point, and there's going to be a decimal part, right? Or we could just say 181 remainder 2. How many 4s can fit into 726? 181 4s with 2 left over. Because 4 times 181 is equal to 724. 4 times 181 is equal to 724. Because you got 2 left over. All right. Right? Or do it like this over here. Take the quotient of 18, take the remainder. The remainder is going to be your numerator. And then the denominator is going to be what? The divisor. Now, here we got another situation. This 2/4 can be reduced, right? Meaning the numbers get smaller. That's why we say reduce, because the numerator and the denominator get smaller because they have a common factor of 2. 2 divided by 2, 2 divided by 2. So that's going to be 18 and 1/2. So a couple ways we could express the answer. 18, remainder 2, or 18 and 1/2, because it was 18 and 2/4. Where'd the 2 come from? The remainder. Where'd the 4 come from? The divisor. 2/4 can be reduced to 1/2. Where'd the 1/2 come from? 2 and 4 have a common factor of 2. And again, I got whole videos where I just talk about reducing fractions and simplifying fractions. All right. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 4 divided by 2 is 2. That's where the 1/2 came from. Whenever you're doing a math problem, always know where every number came from. And if numbers go away, know where they went at. Like if this became a 1, what happened to the 2? Oh, 2 divided by 2 is 1. This was a 4. What happened to the 4? Where'd the 2 come from? Oh, 4 divided by 2 is 2. That's why. All right. So a couple ways to do it. 181. Oh, I'm tripping. I forgot that 1. 181, not 18. I'm tripping. 181 and 2/4, which is 181 1/2, or 181 with a remainder of 2. All right. So go get some practice with long division. Make sure you know how to do long division. Parents, make sure you know how to do long division, right? Make sure you know how to do long division. It's very helpful. It's a good skill to have. All right. Help your children understand it too. All right. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you drop a comment down below. Like the video. Share it with somebody else. I'll see you all on the next video. Peace.